Around 7% of the women in America are told that they are infertile by their doctors. Athena was told that she was one of these women until God rocked her world with a miracle.
Hi, I'm Athena Benjamin, and I wanted to share my testimony of one of the biggest miracles God's done in my life. At age 16, I was told by a doctor that I couldn't have any kids. It was very heartbreaking to receive that news. I didn't want to believe it, and so I proceeded to seek a specialist's opinion. I went and saw one at 19, and she confirmed that yes, I was not able to have any. I can tell you that right now, as a woman, I can definitely empathize with anyone that has been told that news, because I know the feeling of feeling like you can't have any children, being a woman, feeling less than, because that's the one thing that we are here for, is to procreate and be able to have children. But then also, you need to start thinking about your future. You start wondering, well, is a man even gonna want me and wanna marry me knowing that I can't have any children? So what I decided to do was trust and believe in God. And that's where I put my faith on, because I read numerous things in the Bible of how He answers prayer. But not only that, the stories where women actually got pregnant. We're looking at Sarah, who was past maternal fetal age, and I mean, she even laughed at God when she heard that she would be having a baby. And I just clinged on to those kind of stories, and that's what raised my hope, and that's what made me trust and believe that God can do it for me as well. And so I started fasting and praying, and I started telling God exactly what I wanted, and decreeing and declaring by sharing it with others that I was going to be able to have a baby, and that God would do it for me, and that I would have my miracle, and I do. And so I have 2 of them at that, and they're the biggest blessing. And I can tell you right now, if you're facing any challenges in any way, shape, or form in any part of your health or whatever you're dealing with, just trust and believe God will do it for you, because He definitely did it for me. And He blew my mind, and I will never forget my firstborn, and the doctors telling me congratulations, because they knew that I wasn't able to have it, and I had the baby naturally.
Well, today I have the incredible honor of interviewing one of our amazing members of our church here at Dream City, as well as my personal friend, Athena Benjamin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Aubrey.
Athena, you are a story of healing. 3 different times you've been healed in your early walk with Jesus. Tell us about that.
So it started when I was 19 years old. I was told at 16 I couldn't have kids, confirmed at 19, just when I got saved. And at 19, I also was dealing with a cyst that you can see and feel through, the top of my stomach. When I got saved, there was an evangelist that came out and prayed for me the day before my ultrasound.
Wow.
And so when I went in for the ultrasound, the tech is asking me why I'm there,
You're kidding.
only to find out because she could not find the cyst. When she said that to me, I had to press to show her, and then I myself couldn't feel it.
The next day?
The very next day. And for the size that was, if it would have ruptured, if it would have done anything of the sorts, I would have ended up in the emergency room, And so the doctor was in awe, I was in awe, and I knew that it was God.
Yeah.
And so that was the beginning steps of it. Then I got into a back heart accident. God healed me from my back pain. And fast forward to the 3rd year, where I started saying, okay, because I started seeing the testimonies that were coming, my own testimonies were starting to encourage me in the sense of, okay, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above what I can think or imagine. So why couldn't He give me a child? He did it for Sarah. He did it for so many others in the Bible. Why couldn't He do it for me? And so I started telling people that I wanted them to show up at this church night, because there was an evangelist that was coming out, and I just had faith and believed that God would do it again. And Aubrey, He sure did. He showed up, and I couldn't believe it, because the way He did, and in that moment, I can tell you, everyone that got to witness that day, people came up to me afterwards and were telling me how amazed they were, because they knew God moved in my life, just because of the significance of the evangelist pointing me out while he was telling everybody what he was going to do, because he made an altar call in the beginning. He changed the format of how he was even doing the service, asking the women to please come up that couldn't have kids, pointing me out, telling me there was something special about me that night. And then coming back after he prayed for me, coming back and answering a prayer that I personally asked God that no one else knew. People knew that I was asking God for the baby, but no one knew the personal prayer that I had done with God.
How many children do you have now?
I have two.
Two. So you have been blessed and healed many different times. And what I've seen many times throughout my life personally is that God anoints people to do in ministry with what they've been through.
Yes.
And you've been through a lot of healing. You've been through a lot of pain with the lies of the devil telling you that you were infertile. And now God's using you to minister to women who've been told they're infertile. Tell us real quick about that.
Yes. Well, for one, I totally understand the ones that are going through infertility. For one, you feel like you're not even a woman. You know, the one thing that we're supposed to be here for, and you're being told you can't do, or you're not able to, carry a child long enough. And truthfully, that is a lie. I know that there are circumstances and there are things, but if you really desire, my advice to people is fast, pray, seek God earnestly. And when you feel like you've given up, like I had a friend of mine, she had so many miscarriages, so many. And then her last one was a fallopian tube pregnancy, which of course is ectopic, it needs to come out, and it damaged her tube. And she comes and she was just so devastated. And she goes, you know what, Athena, if you want to pray for me, that's fine, I give up. And I said, you know what, Wendy, if that's okay, I want to pray for you. And she let me pray for her. And now, 1 month later from that, she comes back and she has her daughter, Ava Joy, and she has her second one too. So she's got 2 babies now. And after so many miscarriages and so many letdowns and heartbreaks, now she's got her 2 babies as well.
Athena, what does it mean to really trust in God for healing? I'm walking through my own season of healing, and I'm waiting for God to heal me as well.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait for that miracle.
I can't wait for it either. What is your story with trusting and just waiting? What advice would you give?
Okay, so you know how in the Bible it describes how the sea, how it tossed to and from? You need to have that kind of faith that just stands still and knows and trusts and believes. It doesn't matter what hits you and what direction the enemy tries to lie to you or make you feel like it's not going to happen for you. Nothing is impossible for God, and it will happen. So what I say is, don't worry, don't stress, give it to God, truly give it to God, and forget about it. Even if the circumstances are there, even if your natural eye sees the things as though they're real, there is a God that does things supernaturally where you can't fathom because his ways are not our ways, and he will make it happen as long as you trust and believe. So don't let any doubt creep in, and just shut the devil up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly what I would do. That's what I have to do.
Really, shut up, devil.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we're not listening to you anymore.
Exactly. He's a defeated foe.
Yeah.
He just comes to just run his mouth for things that are not even real.
Don't give him the time of day.
Exactly.
And the doctors don't have the final say.
Oh, absolutely not.
Thank you, Athena, for coming and sharing your story. I mean, I'm so encouraged. My faith has been raised today hearing your testimonies, and I'm sure everybody watching today is so encouraged. I mean, many people today need healing, and we just need to encourage them to reach out to God and seek that healing, and also come to a church that'll believe alongside you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
Because we do have that power to do so.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Athena.
You're welcome.
Well, if you are looking for a church that is going to come alongside you, believe with you in the miracles of God over your life, Dream City Church is that place. Check out dreamcitychurch.us and find out how you can get involved in a community that wants to wrap its arms around you and support you.